Hi Math 20, we have section 3-4, number 42, and we want to find a cubic polynomial. So that means third power. And we're given the 0, 1/2, that's a rational 0. And we have two irrational zeros, 1 plus root 3 and 1 minus root 3. And then the final piece of information is the coefficient of x is 2. So again, we know that we have x minus 0. So we'll have x minus 1/2. We'll have x minus, and then we want to put that in parentheses, 1 plus root 3. It's in parentheses because we're minusing that whole entire 0. And then x minus 1 minus root 3. Again, also the entire 0 in parentheses. And so the coefficient of x is 2. We'll come back to that. So we've learned that there's probably a coefficient out front, but that's not the coefficient of x. So I'm just going to call that a for now. That's not necessarily this coefficient. So we'll come back to what to do with this at the end. So let's go ahead and multiply this out. So I think I'm going to do the two irrational zeros because they're conjugates, and things will cancel out. So we have x minus 1 minus root 3 times x minus 1 plus root 3. And I like boxes, especially once we have more than 2 terms. The boxes help a lot. So we should have 3 by 3 here. So we get x squared, we get minus x minus root 3x. We get minus x plus 1 plus root 3. And then we get plus root 3x. We get minus root 3. And then we get root 3 times root 3 is 3, so negative 3. And what's nice about these is all the weird terms cancel. So root 3x cancels, root 3 cancels. And so we'll be left with the a, x minus 1/2. We'll multiply that out after. And we'll get x squared. We'll get minus 2x. And then we'll get 1 minus 3, which is minus 2. And then we'll continue to multiply this out, and then again we'll deal with that coefficient of x is 2. So we get x squared minus 2x minus 2, x minus 1/2. And if you want to get practice, you really should try this without me. I have a feeling most of you watching this video are just struggling with that coefficient of 2 part. So why don't you multiply this out without me? But come back when you're done, and we should get x cubed. We get minus 2x squared. We get minus 2x minus 1/2 x squared. We get positive 1x, and we get positive 1. All right, and so we're left with the a out front, again, because we have to deal with that coefficient. Remember, this coefficient is maybe just stretching or compressing, and that doesn't change the zeros. So that's why we don't know what a is yet. So we get x cubed for x squared, negative 2 minus 1/2, I think would be minus 5/2. Yeah, 4 over 2 minus 1 over 2, minus 5/2 x squared. For x, we get minus 1x, negative 2 plus 1. And then our final term is plus 1. And so notice the coefficient of x right now is not 2. So we need the coefficient of x to be 2. Right now, without the a, the coefficient is negative 1. That's what the coefficient means. So we're going to distribute the a, and then we're going to figure out a so that this term has a coefficient of 2. And that'll be it. So a can be anything, and we get the same zeros. So a can be anything, and it doesn't change the zeros. That's why we don't know what a is. So let's peek at Desmos. I changed a to 2 and 3. Notice it just changes the stretching of the graph, but the zeros don't change. Right, we have 1/2, and then these are my 1 plus or minus root 3. Right, I can change a to like negative 10. Oops, not 0, negative 10. Right, again, the zeros don't change, right? Just the stretching and the reflection of the graph change. So there's lots of equations that make these zeros true. So without the coefficient of x, there's lots and lots and lots of solutions. I mean, there might even be a is just 1, right? No a at all, which means a is 1. Again, the zeros aren't changing. But because we have this fact that the coefficient of x is 2, there's only one solution now. So we're going to go ahead and distribute that a. So we get ax cubed. We get minus 5/2 ax squared. We get minus ax, and then we get plus 1. And we know that the coefficient of x is 2. So negative ax should be 2x, which means negative a is 2, or a is negative 2. So the solution would just be the one where we have negative 2, x cubed, minus 5x squared, minus x, plus 1. And you can leave it like this, or you could distribute the 2 to see this term of 2x. So negative 2x cubed, that would be positive 5x squared. And then here we go, we have that positive 2x, which was the condition we were trying to satisfy, and minus 2. So if we go back to Desmos and we put the negative 2 out front, that's the one it's looking for. So again, notice it has the same exact zeros, it's just a reflection of a different version. And that's number 42.